Hey, what's up, yo? My name is Millennial Smart, and I'm bringing you the slop, the whole slop, and nothing but the slop, and I call shenanigans. I call shenanigans. Can I please, oh please, read you guys this article? Of course, it's coming from Cultaholic, and I want you to listen to the names being mentioned, and listen to the articles, and listen to the brand that is supporting this idea. May I for a second? By the way, once again, coming from Cultaholic, All Elite Wrestling's weekly programming airing on Max appears to have been a positive change for the promotion. According to BJ Bethel of SE Scoops, AEW Dynamite is averaging around 500,000 viewers on Max in the first 24 hours after the show airs live. When combined with AEW's viewership on TBS, Dynamite is averaging between 1 million and 1.2 million viewers within 24 hours of airing. Let me repeat that again before we read this article. When combined with AEW's viewership on TBS, the Max numbers, which allegedly is 500,000 concurrent viewers happening in a 24-hour span, Dynamite is averaging between 1 million and 1.2 million viewers within 24 hours of airing. Continuing on though, Bethel claims Dynamite has averaged around 60 million minutes watched per episode, with a change of between 10 to 20% depending on the episode. AEW Dynamite has reportedly regularly outperformed some major ice hockey games on Max. Dave Meltzer also reported on Wrestling Observer Radio that an average episode of AEW Dynamite draws around 1.5 million viewers on TBS within 3 days of airing. The spin on this is incredible. Oh, sorry. We're going to talk about this in a minute. While Collision draws around 1 million viewers on TNT within 3 days of when it airs. AEW Dynamite has been simulcast on TBS and Max since the start of 2025 as part of All Elite Wrestling's new US TV deal with Warner Bros. Discovery. The current deal, worth approximately $185 million per year, took effect from January 2025 and runs through December 31st, 2027. While AEW ratings are often discussed on social media, Warner Bros. Discovery reportedly said they don't care about the online discourse around AEW viewership. I bet they don't care about the online discourse because the online discourse makes them believe that they don't know what the fuck they're talking about when they actually do their business dealings. It's almost as if they have a separate agenda going on right now, and more importantly, a separate incentive as to why they keep AEW on television and why they want to run this current contract deal. But that's another story for another day. Can we talk about these numbers for a minute? Can we talk about these numbers for 1 million to 1.2? Mind you, none of them have put out any fucking numbers as far as proof of this actually being a concept. None of them. Not one iota of a fucking example. Nothing. Nada. They are literally guessing on this. But let's play a game for a second, shall we? Let's play a game of, holy shit, they actually got 1 million viewers or 1.2 million viewers in the first 24 hours and 1.5 million viewers in the first 3 days of airing. First off, the concept of how they're actually, detailing this as far as how they're figuring this out, their methodology, this would be the equivalent of me suggesting, for an example, well, I guess I have 6,000 subscribers, but let's hypothetically say they had that feature in YouTube which still allowed you to hide your subscribers, right? And let's just say consistently I was getting around, 7,000, 8,000 views on a consistent basis, right? But that's not really translating into audience numbers, right? Say people, for an example, seen the thumbnail and then they jumped on the video because they were curious via the thumbnail, and they jumped off right away because they weren't enthusiastic about it. It's going to count as a view, but it's not going to really translate to a fucking subscriber. Same thing can be said about the title. Say, for an example, they see a title and maybe they misinterpret it to be a legitimate interview or something like that. Hence why I don't do my titles like that anymore. But that's another thing, right? Things that's going to maybe not have someone legitimately subscribe subscribe to your channel, but it's a bunch of traffic that's going to bring in a bunch of viewership numbers. If I hide my subscriber number and you've seen the viewership number and it was consistently around that range, say 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, you'd probably theoretically would probably think to yourself that, oh, Millennial most likely has around 7,000 subscribers or 8,000 subscribers or around that mark, because that's the consistent viewership number I tend to get typically, right? Typically, or at the very least, if you're more of an enthusiast when it comes to the numbers, you might say I have half of that number, for an example, right? 4,000 subscribers, something along the lines of that. But you don't know legitimately what I have. You're taking a guess based off of a bullshit methodology, because you legitimately can't tell me if an individual is tuning in to watch this without providing me any of the actual statistics. For an example, people tune in to watch The Big Bang Theory and then they tune out. And then you get a large viewership number that is there for the first 15 minutes and then it falls off fucking completely because people didn't watch AEW. The channel most likely lingered when The Big Bang Theory went off, and then they eventually turned from it when they recognized that the show was off the air. That's typically how it goes, right? But ignore the bullshit methodology as far as them not even being able to present their numbers and them just guesstimating, and this is how they come up with their guesstimation. Let's talk about the actual numbers in themselves. Let's just play a game of, oh, okay, well, it's legitimately 1 million to 1.2 million viewers, right? Let's say legitimately they're taking the 500,000 viewership number and that's actually the fucking number. Bro, first off, the live numbers in itself, like the actual live, the 2 hours that are happening, didn't I read an article not even a couple of weeks ago that suggested it was 100,000 views? Like 100,000 viewers who are tuning in live for the 2 hours of AEW Dynamite. It's 100,000 viewers. That's what I read like 2 weeks ago when I did the John Cena video, right? Isn't that what I said? It was 100,000 viewers, right? That was added. And then they came up with the combined total of like 600,000 when it was at its low point of 500,000 or something along the lines of that. So what they do instead now is they move the goalposts. Anything to make AEW look good, bro, rather than actually putting on compelling, because people are going to probably be like, Devontae, why do you have a problem with this? It's not that I have a problem with this necessarily, right? It's what I have a problem with. What I have a problem with is that you're going to fuck with the numbers in order to justify the programming, when in reality, your programming sucks, and you're going to just say to yourself, well, we can continue doing this thing because look at the numbers that is presented. No. You legitimately said to yourself, we're going to just ignore the live numbers, and we're just going to take into context the 24-hour span. I don't know the 24-hour span for WWE Raw or SmackDown. Do they ever talk about that? Or is that too inconvenient for the narrative? Because if we're going to take the 24-hour period and then use that as the logic, then goddamn, what is Raw and SmackDown? Like 5-6 million viewers? Huh? We're going to take the Netflix numbers, then we're going to extend it to 24 hours in order to justify the legitimate viewership number. Then what? Is Raw and SmackDown like fucking, what, 3 to 5 million viewers? Is that what the number is legitimately? Which then brings up the point, okay, then your viewership number is still dog shit, right? Right? Is it legitimately just hearing the number 1 million and you guys are willing to extend it to whatever premise as long as you get to the number 1 million? Because again, if you're using that same logic in that same narrative, then what was the previous number as far as what it averaged overall in that same time period about 2 years ago? Because I still want to see what matters to me is not the whole number. What matters to me is the discrepancy as to where you were previously. Like for an example, with WWE, the discrepancy as far as where they were from a year-to-year basis is over 1 million viewers. Isn't that what the AEW fanboys were picking on when talking about SmackDown? Was that 1 million discrepancy number when they were at, as far as what they averaged now versus what they averaged around the road to WrestleMania and around that period when they were on the USA Network? Or I guess UPN, holy shit, telling you my age right now, when they were on broadcast television. Like they're not consistent with their own logic. Anything to make AEW look good, they are willing to go the extra mile for. Anything. But the logic doesn't end there, because it goes even further. Of course, you have someone like a Dave Meltzer, who he said when you put AEW bait out there for Dave Meltzer to nibble on, and you give him something to go, I told you so, because we all know in the end of the fucking day, you're giving advice to Tony Khan. Tony Khan runs with that advice, or he runs with your stupid ass mentality. He pretty much does what you would do if you were running Dynamite. And obviously, everything that happens as far as the complaints about Dynamite and you coming to back to AEW is all just a projection, because it's pretty much all your ideas that are being shitted on when you shit on AEW. So again, when it comes time for AEW to get some positive rhetoric about it, here he comes to the fucking rescue, right? Oh, they get 1.5 million viewers within 3 days of airing. My nigga, 3 days? 3 days? 3 fucking days? Is that where we're extending it to? 3 days? 3? Why 3 days? Why not a fucking month? Why not a year? Why not 5 years? Why not just take all of AEW's viewership number in total and then let's just add it all up together? I guarantee you it's probably closer to like, what, maybe 1 billion maybe? Maybe a couple of 100 million? And let's just tally all the viewership numbers all together and suggest that's how many people are watching Dynamite. Or at the very least suggesting that's how enthusiastic the fan base is for Dynamite. What a fucking disingenuous fucking clown this guy is. He is such a monumental fucking clown. This dude really had the audacity to say, well guys, let me tell you the perspective of what we actually see when looking at the details of the viewership numbers when extended past the 24-hour. No, not even the 24-hour, because what we really want to focus on is the authentic number of the live, Dave. Live SC Scoops. Live Cultaholic. Live BJ Bethel. This is what we're talking about. The live 2-hour numbers. Because that's where peak interest lets you know how enthusiastic the actual fan base is for the product. And there's no excuses now. There never have been a fucking excuse. You didn't need the max numbers to tell you the enthusiasm of your fan base, because you still had things. This is how I watch it. YouTube television, which you can watch on your cell phone. So there's no, I'm not there at the moment. I'm not at the house. I'll just watch it on demand. No, there's none of that bullshit, because you can watch it on YouTube Live. And now you have that. Now you have Max. There are multiple ways of catching Dynamite live. You don't even have to be home anymore. Gone are the days of fucking DVR are fucking gone. On demand is fucking gone. It's right there. The product is right fucking there in your hands. And what I see every week, from what I heard a couple of weeks ago, it was 100,000 viewers. That was the live numbers for Max. Like, let's just pretend, for an example, I'm taking your numbers seriously, right? Let's just pretend I'm taking your numbers seriously. 500,000 viewers in the first 24 hours. That doesn't really seem too unrealistic. In the first 24 hours, 100,000 viewers is what you also put out there as far as the numbers being run live. So what that tells me is that people aren't enthusiastic about the programming. What that tells me is that people aren't really running to see the programming if they have to come in droves after the show goes off the air. Doesn't really scream peak interest when 1 million people are willing to watch the show at a later date. Doesn't really scream that to me, brother. I mean, those same people who are within the AEW fan base, don't let the people fool you. They watch WWE too, and vice versa. Is WWE having the same problem also? Is that the same problem with WWE? You know what? Let's play that game, right? We're gonna do the first 24 hours. I'm very curious. What are the numbers for WWE last night? I seen the Cody and John Cena promo, right? Right? We're seeing on-demand numbers, right? Let's go on YouTube. Let's use them as our only metric at the very moment, right? And I'm very curious, what were the numbers that were going on during WWE? Oh, look, the Cody Rhodes segment with John Cena in the first 24 hours got 2.4 million viewers for that segment alone on YouTube. It's almost as if they bodied every fucking on-demand segment by itself from AEW times 2. And this was them not even fucking trying, and this is them doing it in 24 hours. Less than 24 hours to be exact. If that's the logic that we're using currently at the moment. Like, you're fucking insane. You're fucking insane. You're fucking insane. Of course, I'm not gonna go to the degree or to the extreme to suggest whether or not they're fake, because I can't say that. I don't know whether or not these are fake numbers. It wouldn't be the first time, right? It wouldn't be the first time we've heard AEW go, and maybe not fake, but highly reaching, stretching. I mean, fucking like Stretch Armstrong going past the clouds. They are fucking stretching. They are going for the fucking moon, my guy. The fucking moon. The exaggeration is ridiculous. But I'm very curious, what are those actual legitimate numbers? No, I gotta see those numbers out of curiosity. I want to see those numbers. And even then, even if that's proof positive that the numbers actually happen to be true, that is well beyond the threat. That is well below, the threshold of where you should probably theoretically be at. 1.5 million viewers was your peak when you debuted. You did that number in the first 2 hours. You did that number live. Remember now, 1 million viewers, that was their standard. That was their legitimate standard for the first 2 hours of the programming. And now you're telling me that it's taking you 24 hours to hit that same number you would have hit live otherwise? Like, even if these numbers weren't fake, which I do, in the back of my mind, I do think that they're highly exaggerated. Maybe not fake, but I think they're playing with numbers. I think they're absolutely playing with numbers, right? Outside of just the obvious playing with numbers as far as extending the metrics in order to meet some criteria just to say that you fucking did it. Because again, this is so, the way their logic is so arbitrary. Like, again, like, why 1 million viewers in 24 hours? Again, I'm asking, why not a week? Why can't we see the numbers in a week and then you just use that as some fucking bullshit optical illusion to let people know whether or not AEW is successful? Why 24 hours? Again, your logic is just, it's the outright definition of moving the fucking goalpost to meet one's narrative. And they do it with a smile on their face. That's the scary part. They do it with a smile on their face, and their dumbass fanboys eat it up, and it's maddening. It is maddening because all it does is suggest the narrative that AEW is doing the right thing when they're actively telling you that they're doing the wrong thing. Let me reiterate this one more fucking time. If the numbers are legitimately, let's just say that those numbers are legit, you mean to tell me that it's taking you 24 hours to do what you typically did in 2 hours 3 years ago? And that's somehow a good thing? And they eat it up. That's the wild part. They eat it the fuck up. That's the wild part. They throw it in your face and then they go na boo boo. And then when you speak logic and you go, you people are fucking insane, they go, man, you guys rain on AEW's parade so much. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Nah. You were the ones that threw it up in our faces. You were the ones that threw it up in our faces. These people are fucking maddening. They make me fucking, bro, they are maddening. They are maddening. Bro, they piss me off. It's not even, it's actual frustration. I'm losing my mind with these fuckers, bro. I'm losing my mind with these fuckers. They tell you that the ratings and the viewership, the viewership number doesn't matter. When they fell below their projected threshold of 1 million viewers, nah, but the ratings are still better than Raw. Then the ratings fall down. Then it's, but we're still around 900,000. Then that number falls down to 800,000. We're still doing good 700,000. We're still doing good 600,000. Anything but to actually put on compelling television. Anything but to be held accountable for your dog shit, bullshit logic when it comes to putting on professional wrestling. Anything to just be held accountable for the bullshit that you do and just change. You instead go to the ends of the earth to make you out to be even more bigger jokes than you already are. It is fucking wild. I gotta hear some thoughts down in the comment section below. I got to. I gotta hear some comments down below. How do you guys feel about this topic? I can't believe they actually said this in the first 24 hours. As if... And then they said in the first 3 days. Like you prove everybody's points. You're proving everybody's point. It takes you 3 days. 3 days to get what your first episode got in the first 2 hours. Yeah, that's kind of the point. But it has the word million inside it, so therefore deflect every argument, you fucking retards. As always, my name is Devontae, aka Millennial Smart, and I'll be catching you guys later. Devontae, stop picking on AEW. Oh, God. Stop picking on life and breathing. Deuces, P, ice. Drink water and breathe it in at the same time.